Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We are currently exploring the scripture Mysticism of Srimad Bhagavatam. Commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda ji Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. And currently we are studying the glories of Lord Krishna. So in today's satsang, we will be discussing overcoming Trinavarta. Trinavarta is, Trin means a piece of hay, straw, and that is about the demon Trinavarts. One day, Yashoda was holding Krishna in her arms and showering all her affection on him. Suddenly, Krishna became so heavy that she could not bear to hold him. So she put him in the courtyard and engaged herself in different household chores. At that time, a demon called Trinavarta, who was a servant of Kansa, arrived at the request of his master to kill Krishna. Appearing as a tornado-like whirlwind, Trinavarta suddenly came down upon the house like a big funnel from the sky and sucked out Krishna. At the same time, he created a tremendous dust cloud and veiled everything in darkness so that people did not know what was happening, like a big thunderstorm. Blinded by the dust, distraught by the confusion, and overcome with grief, Yashoda searched for Krishna but could not find him anywhere. Meanwhile, up in the sky, Krishna had been quite busy. At first he let the demon lift him up easily, but then when they had reached a great height, Krishna increased his weight to make himself as heavy as a mountain and unbearable to carry. Trinavarta now dropped his disguise as a whirlwind and assumed his normal form. As we have discussed, whenever they are agitated and uncomfortable, they get back to their natural state, these demons. At this, Krishna caught hold of the neck of the demon and began to choke him. His demoniac eyes bulged out and his lifeless body fell like a great rock from the sky, carrying baby Krishna with him. Trinavarta's body shattered on the rocks, but Krishna was perfectly safe, playing happily upon the chest of that demon. The gopis, the cowherds, women folk, were extremely surprised that nothing had happened to Krishna. They lifted him and brought him back to his mother, Yashoda. They all began to thank God for the miraculous destruction of the terrible demon while Krishna was left unharmed. So these stories are so wonderful because again, when God comes in physical form, he behaves and acts like a human being, but he is superhuman. He is beyond our wildest concepts of what we in our human embodiment can do. But that's why we call it the Leela. Leela means an illusion, making it a fun, joy. So imagine handling such difficult torments and difficult adversities and still making it a joyous occasion. From a mystical point of view, this episode refers to the destruction of Vikshep Shakti. Vikshep Shakti, the power of distraction. Distraction comes in one's personality like a whirlwind, trying to extinguish the flame of aspiration. But if your aspiration is sincere, it is backed by the divine grace, then it chokes the very throat of distraction. So we have to understand this path takes a lot of effort, sincerity, working on it, and staying away from the too much illusions of the world process. The essence of the demon of distraction is the sense of I-ness. I-ness meaning I did it, this is me, and mineness, this is mine. So me and mine keep us trapped in the demoniac state or the power of illusion. So by his two hands, Krishna chokes the demon, removing the I-ness and the mineness. These demons are our own traits, our own qualities that are obstructing our vision of growing and expanding our spiritual consciousness. We will never be unduly distracted from our spiritual movement if our ego has been reduced and we are unburdened of the sense of possessions. So, the process is fairly simple, but to implement it, understand it, digest it, and make it a part of our life is where the effort resides. That is what we call sadhana, or our spiritual discipline. If you have reduced I-ness and mine-ness, then we can say we have choked the throat of the demon. On the other hand, if we allow I-ness and mine-ness to thrive, no matter how great we are just a straw in the hands of that demon. So very profound, we have to understand our ego is like a chameleon. It keeps changing shapes and colors and forms and keeps us confused with feelings of superiority and I did it and complexes that we need to eventually get rid of by becoming humble and spiritual. So, in his tremendous movement in the path of a tornado, huge buildings become like mere straws. As we see, so many storms come and big powerhouses and big buildings are rooted out. However, if we have profound aspiration, it will destroy the force of distraction, no matter how powerful it may be. So in summary, then, the earlier episode involving the destruction of Putana implies the development of vairagya or dispassion. The world is stripped of its charm. It no longer can bind us by its magical power. Then the overturning of the heavy cart containing so many items implies overhauling the unconscious to minimize the negative and maximize the positive impressions. So therefore, it's like organizing our unconscious inside by bringing out the positive. Thirdly, the destruction of Trinavarta implies removal of distractions or Vikshepa Shakti, as we just discussed. Vikshepa or distraction, when it is removed, an aspirant is prepared to receive a glimpse of cosmic consciousness or Atma, or the vision of God, so to speak, which propels him further on the sublime path to self-realization. So that is the journey to view our Atma or our self while we still have this human body. It is not outside the realm of possibility. We can certainly do it, but we have to have Hanumanji like faith, rock like faith, and our effort that is sincere, sustained, and dedicated. This glimpse of cosmic consciousness is symbolized by the next episode in this portion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the three demons when he was very young. Lord Krishna is still a baby, technically not even fully walking yet. When Chatti, when Putana came, he was only 6 days old. And when he kicked the cart, he was maybe a few months old, and so on. So these are even in his very infant stage, we can say. But the glories of God are infinite and beyond any age or any such human logic. I hope you are enjoying the nectar of these satsangs. I hope you feel your consciousness expanding and you feel pulled towards spirituality. And once the mind starts to enjoy it, then the job is done. We are already there to a very great extent, because now the mind starts to cooperate. So as Swamiji is guiding us, Jyotirmayananda ji, that vairagya is very important, dispassion. If we have to see the world for what it really exists. They say when you laugh, everyone laughs, and when you weep alone. Very few during your adversity, during your birth, at the time of our death. This is the journey of the soul and our own journey by ourselves. ourselves. It is good to have friends, family, support, and so on. Very good. But we should know the person who has to get the surgery, he is the one who has to go under the operating table. The family cannot do it. They can support you, they can help, etc. So this is what we have to also do in our daily life. While we are still healthy and able to, we should put our practice, our sadhana in the morning hours before we even start work, and at night before we go to bed, and during the day maintain that sense of serenity and love within your heart. That is the essence of us having this human body. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.